What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again with another Daily City transfer video. My last transfer video, my last transfer update that's going to be daily for this summer transfer window, as well as we continue to get news filtering through from what was a very chaotic transfer deadline day back on September 1st. So we've got no contract news to speak about in today's video. We've got no ins news to speak about either. It's all very much to do with the outs. Firstly, City Academy player Michael Okeke, the central midfielder from Man City's Academy, has confirmed on his own social media profile that he has now left Manchester City. He's now a free agent, free to sign with anybody else. I believe the free registration windows are still open in the English Football League, so he can still sign for a team in the English Football League, or he can go abroad and sign for them. The rulings when it comes to free agents are a little different in the English Football League than what they are in the Premier League. The Premier League have their own designated registration windows, which I think does close at some point very soon. I think some point this week. It might even already have gone. We're waiting for further clarification on that, so Okeke could end up going to another club elsewhere. We'll see what does happen, so I do want to wish the very best of luck for the future, Michael, and hope he does find a new club very soon. Now, I know some of you guys have been speaking and asking about Joshua Wilson-Esbrand, so got the very latest on him. He's not been included as part of Manchester City's Champions League squad, as he is now 22 years old as well. I don't think he's eligible to play for Manchester City in the Premier League either, so I'm not expecting Wilson-Esbrand to be registered for the Premier League as well. So it's looking like a case here that either City just haven't found another club for Wilson-Esbrand, either on a loan or a permanent transfer, or if maybe he's carrying some kind of injury and he's wanted to continue his recovery and development at Manchester City. It may just be a case where he's happy to hang around the elite development squad and maybe see if he can get some uncompetitive minutes for Manchester City as well, and we'll assess the situation again in the January transfer window. But I find it quite bizarre that we've not really had any updates on Wilson-Esbrand, and we don't know what's happening there, so we'll see if we do get any more clarification on that. But as Wilson-Esbrand has not been registered for the Champions League, more than likely not going to be registered for the Premier League either, it does mean that he may be made available for the City Elite Development Squad instead, and training around them rather than the City First Team squad. I mean, in terms of first team opportunities, only other competition Wilson-Esbrand could potentially play for City between now and January 1st would be the Carabao Cup, which he would be allowed to play in because you don't have squad registrations when it comes to the Carabao Cup. I find it really odd. I don't know why we've not had any developments on that. If, of course, I do get any more updates on that, I will let you guys know. Now, speaking of players not getting registered, takes us on to an interesting update on Jahmai Simpson-Pusey, because he's still yet to feature in any minutes for Celtic so far this season, and Celtic yesterday announced their squad for the Europa League, and part of that Europa League phase period, their squad, they've left out, I think, 3 players, including Jahmai Simpson-Pusey. I don't think that will have gone down very well at Man City, because we've sent Simpson-Pusey to Celtic to develop. The fact that he's not getting any minutes and he's not going to be playing any part in the Europa League phased league period that they've got there does tell me that everything's pointing towards Jahmai being recalled by Manchester City at the first available opportunity. City have taken up their opportunity not to do that during the summer transfer window, so Simpson-Pusey is going to remain with Celtic unless he ends up picking up an injury and he wants to continue his recovery at Man City rather than Celtic, which I hope doesn't happen, because I want Simpson-Pusey to remain fit and available, and we'll see if he does get any more minutes, in particular in the Scottish Premier League, between now and January 1st, when the January transfer window, of course, opens, and that will be the next available slot that Man City have to recall players from loan. So whether that be Simpson-Pusey from Celtic, or if we want to recall Vita Hayes from his loan from Girona, or if we want to recall Claudio Echeverri from his loan at Bayer Leverkusen, or another player from their loan, that cannot happen until at the very earliest January 1st, when the registrations once more open up and we can recall players and send them elsewhere. But very disappointing news to hear that. I'm hoping that Celtic are going to give him his opportunity a minute minutes. If not, I expect him to be recalled in January and more than likely will head out on loan somewhere else, or could again continue to be used alongside the elite development squad in the Manchester City Academy. We'll see a bit of mismanagement that's gone on here by Celtic in terms of their registrations and not having or having too many players available that all can't be registered. That it's not just one player this has happened to. I believe there's 3 players that have missed out on registrations with Celtic, and I find that, to be honest, a bit poor considering we've sent him on loan there as well to get experience and get these regular minutes, and it's just not happening. And once again, just leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to Man City's process, when it comes to loaning out players and finding the best available clubs for them to get most of their loan experience, and obviously getting them crucial starts and crucial minutes for their development, which I find just really disappointing. Anyway, moving on, we've got the latest on Stefan Ortega, and he has been registered as part of Manchester City's 25-man UEFA Champions League squad. It does mean that we've got 4 registered goalkeepers, which you may be asking why, but Man City have done this because we've managed to, maybe unexpectedly, before the close of our transfer window, managed to free up an extra space for a non-homegrown player, which does mean that if Man City had been more organised and got things sorted earlier in this transfer window, we could have had the option to maybe bring in an additional face. In particular, I'm looking towards the right-back spot, because City have been very limited all summer at right-backs, because it's always been a case of it's got to be a homegrown right-back, and it limited us to pretty much just Tino Livramento, who wasn't for sale by Newcastle and didn't want a transfer away from Newcastle this summer. So we were pretty limited. It's why we've not looked at right-backs yet. We've freed up space in our squad right past transfer deadline day, and if we'd sorted things out sooner, we could have been looking at the non-homegrown market, where the right-back market is looking pretty good, and we could have brought somebody in and we may have had a better looking squad than what we've got right now. But yeah, 4 registered goalkeepers, very bizarre. It's nothing I don't think I've ever seen any club have that before. So yeah, I can't help but think that we maybe should have been a little more prepared, just like Celtic. We could have done our own preparations much sooner when it came to our squad registrations, crying out for a right-back. We've not managed to bring in a homegrown right-back, could have brought in a non-homegrown right-back, and Ortega could have been moved on, and we could have had everything sorted sooner rather than later. I mean, we even signed Ortega's replacement in James Trafford, yet Stefan Ortega is still here. Now, I am keeping eyes on developments in terms of interest coming in from Saudi Arabia and Turkey, because their windows are still open until next week, so transfers could still happen, in particular for players that Man City maybe don't regard as being a player that's needed by the squad anymore. But in terms of Stefan Ortega, the fact that he's been registered as part of Man City's Champions League squad suggests to me right now Ortega's more likely to stay at City than leave. So we've got 4 goalkeepers. Odd. Anyway, moving on, and speaking of registrations, Kalvin Phillips, I said that Celtic have accused of being poor with their registrations. I'm accusing Man City of being poor with their registrations, because Kalvin Phillips hasn't secured a move away. He's still focusing on his recovery, and he's going to be focusing on his recovery between now and January 1st, because he's not secured a transfer away. He's not been included as part of Man City's Champions League squad, and he's not going to be included as part of Man City's Premier League squad. So just like the same situation that we've had, or Celtic have had with Jahmai Simpson-Pusey, and Man City have had with Joshua Wilson-Esbrand, Kalvin Phillips in the exact same situation. Kalvin Phillips, if he wants to play for Man City's first team this season, or at least until January 1st, the only competition that can happen in is the Carabao Cup, which... Why is Kalvin Phillips still here? Why is Joshua Wilson-Esbrand still here? Why is Stefan Ortega still here? I don't know. Bizarre. Anyway, moving on to the final transfer that I can speak about in the daily Man City transfer video saga for the whole summer. There's been well over 100 videos, over 1 million views that we've picked up. The support's been sensational. And the last story I want to speak about is Ilkay Gundogan, because it is now official. He's signed for Galatasaray on a free contract, no fee paid to Manchester City. He signed on a 2-year contract there until June 2027, and I wanted to wish the best of luck to Ilkay Gundogan in Turkey, and Manchester City bid farewell once more to a modern day legend. Pretty nice fitting way to end this transfer window as well. Wish Ilkay nothing but success. Fantastic player. So, that has been today's video. Please do leave a thumbs up. We are aiming for 200 likes. Any help towards that would be great. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. I'm going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest City content throughout this season for you guys to enjoy. We'll be back with daily City transfer updates from January first as well for you guys to enjoy. So if you haven't already, you do want to support the channel, then please do subscribe on that push to 47,000 subscribers, less than 250 away. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links. They're in the description, including my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'm going to go and treat myself now to a few days off. Thank you so much for the support over the last 3 to 4 months of this summer transfer window. It's been a real busy one. I've done my review. If you want to go and check it out, it's the last video on my channel. And yeah, I'll see you in a few days as we build up towards the Manchester derby. I'm sure there'll probably be another transfer update knocking about and all the other big city talking points. So I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC signing off for the summer 2025 transfer window. Green tick, completed it, mate. See you soon. I've been JSGC. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody. Peace. Ciao for now.